Hello, everybody. So today we're doing a KFC review, and before we start, you're probably wondering why people eat at KFC. And yeah, sometimes when we're feeling a bit saucy, we may eat at KFC. And speaking of sauce, this is a rare occasion. They did not forget the gravy. Now you're probably wondering if I am white because like I am. I did get KFC and I got like seasoning for it, so there proof. Okay. Um. Anyway, this cannot get a 10 out of 10 for the simple fact that I asked for regular Pepsi and they gave me Pepsi Max. So at max now, at max, get it? Because Pepsi Max. Sorry. At max, they can only get a 9 out of 10 for this, due to that mistake. However, I'm pleasantly surprised that they did not forget the gravy like they have done quite a few times now. And I've complained about it. Maybe my complaints are actually getting somewhere. Alright, so we're gonna rip the bag open. What am I reviewing? Chips. It's a mighty bucket for one. So chips, hot wings, um, chicken strips, and then just original recipe chicken. Now, I'm not going to be eating it on camera because that would be a bit disgusting. Like, um, I'll just say what I ate. I'll pause the video. Sorry. Let me say this in the right order, right? I'm gonna claim what I'm gonna eat, then I'll pause the video, and then I'll start eating that. And then when I'm done eating it, I'll say, okay, well, that gets however I want to score it, right? And then when I've finished eating the whole thing, I'll say what I've rated it overall. Okay, right. We're pausing in 3, 2, 1. Like a retard, I forgot to claim what I was gonna eat. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna eat is the chips. Alright, now we're pausing in 3, 2, 1. Alright, well, we've eaten the chips. Now, you don't know how much lower this would have been rated if not for the gravy, right? Because if they forgot the gravy, this would have made KFC look horrendous. But thankfully, the gravy has saved the day. I think the chips without the gravy would have been about maybe like a 6. But with the gravy, it bumps it up to like maybe like a 9 or a 10. I'll give it 9.5 for those chips, right? And the reason for that is just because if I had more in front of me, I would eat more. But I ran out of chips, and that's like where it's losing a half a point. The portion of chips is not really big enough for the price, um, but like they are very nice. Anyway, we do have plenty of chicken. The chicken definitely is worth it for the amount you're paying. All right. The gravy is probably gonna save the day on this one as well. Right. Next thing I'm gonna review is gonna be the Pepsi Max. Now, this is the reason it from the very get go it couldn't get a 10. So yeah, let's try the Pepsi Max. Maybe it's good. I'm not gonna finish it all at once. Um, but I'm gonna taste it. All right. So 3, 2, 1. Actually, before we let you go, let me give you an opening, right? There we go. All right. Now we're gonna taste it. All right. Well, it's not bad. Um, and there's no gravy to save this one. Unless you're like beyond the psychopath who puts like gravy in their Pepsi, that'd be disgusting. Um, but no, that's not what I've done. On its own 2 feet, Pepsi Max, I'll give it, Jesus, maybe Maybe a 9 because it is pretty good, but it's not something that after it's done I would want more of. So it's not a 9.5 like the chips. Excuse me, that was I should have paused it, but I didn't. I'm really sorry about that. I didn't know I was gonna do that. Um so the Pepsi Max it gets a 9. The taste of it is kind of nostalgic. It makes me it wouldn't this meal wouldn't be complete without the Pepsi. Okay? And it doesn't taste too different from the regular Pepsi either. So it's not like too much of a letdown. However, they did get my order wrong, so I'm still gonna hold them to the whatever the overall score is. Like we're gonna add everything up at the end and give it like its rating. We're taking 1 point off that rating anyway, just for getting my order wrong on a technicality, right? Okay, now we're going to eat the original recipe chicken, and yeah, gravy can bail this one out, even if it's not up to snuff. But I'll tell you if it was up to snuff by itself, or if I needed the gravy in order to bump up the points. Now, knowing me, I'm gonna eat it with the gravy anyway. The gravy gets a 10. Um, if that's something that needs to be taken into consideration because it technically is an item on the receipt, the gravy that definitely gets a 10. Gravy is the best thing about KFC, and I think most people would agree with that. All right, original recipe chicken. 3, 2, 1. All right. I tried the first piece already, and 10 out of 10 so far. There is 2 pieces, so there's a chance for KFC to fuck it up. So let's see if they fuck it up. Alright, guys, I haven't finished the second piece yet. It's going good so far, but something I realized is there's a sugar tax on Pepsi. However, Pepsi Max, there is no sugar charge. But I ordered and paid for a Pepsi, whereas they only gave me a Pepsi Max, which means not only did they give me the wrong item, but they also overcharged me due to me paying a sugar tax for something with no sugar in it. So for messing up the item and also charging me a sugar tax, um, they have to lose 2 points for this mistake instead of just one. All right, with that said, I'm gonna go back to finishing the chicken. All right, so the second piece kind of suffered from sequel syndrome, where it just didn't live up to the first one. The first one was an easy 10 out of 10, but the second one wasn't bad, so it's a 9. So overall, it's a 9.5 for both those pieces. Right now, next thing we're gonna do is um the like chicken strips. Okay. All right. All right. I checked the receipt. The name of them is actually mini fillets. So just for clarity, they're actually called mini fillets. Okay. All right. The 2 chicken fillets were quite bland. However, they got a ton of special needs assistance. And what I mean by that is the gravy came in clutch to help with how bland it was. And because now I'm starting to get to the point where I'm feeling a bit full, the Pepsi helped to wash the food down. So this is a really carried item, and it's been carried to an 8.5. It's nothing special, but it's not bad. Excuse me, but it's not bad either. Um, it got a ton of help by other products, and if it wasn't for those other products, it just wouldn't be something that I would bother ordering. Right. Anyway, last and certainly not least, I actually left my favorite for last, is the hot wings. So this should be an easy 10 unless KFC fucks it up. But don't count out KFC, alright? We'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. I don't know if I said this already, but the reason I didn't pause between, or unpause between each fillet is because I knew they would both taste the same. They're just like super. The only thing that tastes different, and I need to pause for both of them, would be the original recipe chicken. So for these as well, I'm not gonna pause in between unless like I can taste a noticeable difference between both of them. But that's probably not gonna happen. All right, I'll catch you in 3 seconds. Look, I haven't even started them yet. I'm feeling so full right now, but yeah, wish me luck. I'm feeling really full. All right. All right, guys. So I made 2 mistakes and I've corrected them now. The first mistake I made was I did the total without the hot wings included. And then the second mistake was for the minus and negative points I gave for like, was I overcharged or if was anything incorrect. At first, I did like a -1 point, whereas that wouldn't really make sense because the it's out of 60, so a -1 would be a -6. So we gave it a +3 for Am I Feeling Full, and it's only a +3 instead of a +6 because that's not a high bar. Was I overcharged? I was overcharged by 15 cents, so it was -1.5 for that. And then was anything incorrect? That was a -6. So in total there, adding up the negative and positive, it was a 4.5. The original recipe chicken was a 9.5. Pepsi Max was a 9. Gravy was a 10. Chips was a 9.5. The mini fillets was an 8.5. And the hot wings was a 10. So that gives us a total of 56.5. And then for our negative 4.5, we're down to a 52. So 52 out of 60, and it's given us an 8.7 out of 10. All right, so it's an 87%. That's an A plus grade, I believe, right? That's not bad for KFC, especially considering that they got an item wrong. If they didn't make that mistake, it would have been much higher. So, fair play to KFC. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. And thank you all for watching. I enjoyed my food. I hope you enjoyed the video. Whether you're eating it, whether you're watching it with food or not. I hope it was entertaining. I hope made you laugh, maybe made you hungry, and yeah, have a great day, everybody, or night, or whatever. Peace out. And if you want more food reviews, let me know in the comments because it will probably excuse me, God, it will probably only come back if there's popular demand for it. If there isn't popular demand, I'll probably just be doing some other random crap. Yeah, today I made a food review because it'd be pretty easy to make. And this wouldn't be SlopTuber slopping without some slop. So I hope you enjoyed today's slop, and goodbye.